So here we have my pictures for Inktober52, and we've got prompt 23, which was shell, and prompt 24, which was puppet. Now for the shell, I chose a Japanese wonder shell. It's not a shell I've ever seen in real life, but I was flicking through my book on shells and I thought it's a really interesting shape and the spirals, and I originally was going to do 3 different views of this, but I messed it up a little bit, as I always do when I'm trying to be too clever, and I decided in the end just pick one view of the shell and just concentrate on that and do it a bit bigger than I was originally going to do so I could get some more detail in. Now it's really hard when you haven't seen something for real and you're relying on photographs. I read that the shell is a very pale colour, but the picture I had, it was actually quite deep. So I've added some colour where I thought it would look okay, and I've just done my best that I could without actually seeing the shell for real. But I really like the fact that there are spirals, and each way you look at the shell, it actually looks quite different. So it was just something very different to any other shell picture I've done, and I think it's always good to find something new to draw and not just keep sticking to the same sort of familiar, something to sort of stretch yourself a bit. Now with puppet, we were talking about this amongst ourselves at home, and we both, my son and myself, at the same time thought sock puppet, because we've made sock puppets in the past. They're great fun for kids, really easy, sock and a bit of felt or some buttons or beads for eyes. And I thought straight away a rat sock puppet, and I was just flicking through some pictures, and the first thing that actually came up was a rat sock puppet, so I had to draw that. It was a lot of fun, and we were talking about actually giving this sock puppet a character. It's amazing how something so simple as a sock puppet can have a character, and you can weave a little story around the character. So if you've never made a sock puppet, they're definitely great fun, a really good thing to do with the children, and you could make anything you want, any character you want from a sock puppet, and just have lots of fun. So those are my 2 pictures, and very different pictures. I enjoyed doing the sock puppet a lot more than I did the shell. The shell was more trying to get it more accurate, whereas the sock puppet, it doesn't really matter if it doesn't look exactly like the sock puppet, because they change as you have your hand in the sock puppet. They're constantly changing shape, so there's no right or wrong way to actually draw it. Anyway, I have to say that was, it was an interesting 2 prompts, and nice to always to try and do something slightly different than things you've done before.